Welcome back. Today is day 5 of 100 days of making comics. So I'm currently working in the video on the 5th day, though today I think is like the 8th day. During this time I was still sick, but I was feeling a lot better, so I was able to push through like an hour or so of work. I really found the time when I was sick challenging to push through, and at points I just thought, well, it's just 30 minutes that I'm going to miss. Like, in the grand scheme of things, is that going to hurt me, or is that important? And I came to the conclusion that since it's a challenge and I have to do it for 100 days, and it's the very beginning of the challenge, that I would just push through all of the days that I was sick. Luckily, if I wasn't eating anything, I didn't feel terrible. It's just not eating anything kind of ruins your stamina. So yeah, I'm working on a 3-panel page here. And I don't know if I've explained this, but I do my thumbnails and then I blow them up to A4 size, and then I have to do the roughs over them. So sometimes my thumbnails are really detailed and sometimes they're essentially stick figures. But I will take the thumbnails that I do into Photoshop. Sometimes I will center them, like recenter them, or make sure that the paneling looks correct, do some flips. Not all the time. I don't think I did that with every page on this. I just wanted to get it done, so I printed them up on A4, just on regular cartridge paper. So you'll see some of the ink will sink in and have those white dots. I actually really like that effect. The only issue with cartridge paper that I have is that it wrinkles. So if anybody out there knows that, like, a paper that has the grain of cartridge paper but can still handle like water-based or alcohol-based items, let me know, because I would love to play around with that texture. So yeah, today's going to be a little bit of a rambling voice video because I want to go watch TV with my wife, and I still need to get today's comics done, or comic page done. I might only do the rough instead of doing the inked part as well, just because, I don't know, getting things done and having time on the weekends is a little bit of a conundrum. So I know when I'm inking, it looks like I'm going fairly fast. I want to slow it down at some point for you guys so that you can see how incredibly slow I am. I was going to do that in this video, but I decided not to because I was sick, so it doesn't really show the progress I make in a usual day. But on the whole, it's really slow, and I know a lot of people are self-conscious about how slow they are, and yeah, being a little bit quicker is conducive to making more stuff, but I have a really hard time doing things quickly. I like to take my time, just not even because I am unsure of my lines or any of that. Like I'm fairly certain of my lines when I'm drawing them out. I actually just really enjoy the process, so I slow down and I enjoy the time that I have by myself listening to music and drawing like I did when I was a kid. I kind of experiment a little bit with my lines, actually, through this entire comic. I'm experimenting a little bit, taking on some new hairstyles, like things that I did when I was a kid that I was told, oh, you can't do that, you're not going to see every strand of hair, and you just need to make sure it goes in clumps. And like, I know, like in my head, I know that's true, and when I do it, it looks good. But what I'm doing here is just a little bit less realistic and a little bit more stylized, so I feel like it's okay. It's okay to just have fun. Not saying that I can't get better. I know that I can get better. I look at my stuff from a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago. It's all over the place. It's progressively getting better, and I think that's a lot to do with the studies that I do. I do studies, I would say, almost every day, except for it's more like every other day at this point, because I don't have as much time as I used to, and I don't always use my time wisely. I will be the first to admit that I like to play a little bit too much video games, and I like to just lay on the couch with my wife and my animals, and I think that those quality of life things are important. I go through ebbs and flows with both doing art and practicing art and playing video games and hanging out with my wife. Anyway, I am trying my best to make this quick and make this the first short comic that I've finished that's over like 10 pages. I think I'll be able to do it. I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. The next project is actually quite a lot larger, and I'm mildly terrified just because of the scope of the entire project that it is. I have like the first book mapped out, which I'm halfway through it and I'm at about 60 pages, so it should be 120 for the first book, which technically I guess would be like the first chapter. It's not actually that much written out. It's only like 15 pages written out, but when you translate that into a comic book, that's quite a lot of pages and writing and all of that stuff. And I think my biggest thing right now that I need to keep in mind with both this comic and the one coming up is the space for words and space for narration. Yeah, so anyway, I hope that you all liked this video. Please, if you have any comments, comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the bell, whatever the YouTubers say. I hope you all are having a great day, and if you are participating in this challenge, let me know. I'd love to watch your videos. Thanks, see you around.